10 years ago, I embarked on a legislative mission to pass a bill called the DREAM Act. And the purpose of the DREAM Act was to give to young people who came to this country as children and who were raised in the United States, who have graduated high school, done a good, made a good life here in this country, to give them a chance to become legal in the United States of America. They are long-term U.S. residents. They have good moral character. They graduated high school. And we say if you'll complete at least 2 years of college and military service in good standing, we'll give you a chance to become legal. Now, there are thousands of young people who fit this description in the United States. They were brought here as kids. If their parents came to the United States and overstayed a visa or crossed the border when they shouldn't have, these children shouldn't be held accountable. They were children. We don't hold children accountable for any wrongdoing by their parents. They grew up here. They pledge allegiance to the flag in the classrooms here. They sing our national anthem, and many of them speak no other language than English. The premise of the DREAM Act is that we should not punish the children for their parents' actions. That's not the American way. Instead, the DREAM Act says to these students, America is going to give you a chance to continue to live here and to make this an even better nation. The DREAM Act's not just the right thing to do, it makes America a better country. The young people who would qualify for the DREAM Act are class valedictorians, star athletes, honor roll students, and ROTC leaders. They are the future doctors, soldiers, computer scientists, and engineers who will make this country even better. The DREAM Act would strengthen our national security by giving thousands of highly qualified, well-educated young people the chance to enlist in the armed forces. The DREAM Act has the support of not only Secretary of Defense Robert Gates, but also General Colin Powell. And it will help our economy by giving these talented young people the chance to become engineers and entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, teachers, small business owners, and nurses. That's why the DREAM Act has the support of business leaders from across the political spectrum, Rupert Murdoch and the CEOs of companies like Microsoft and Pfizer. The talented young people who would be eligible for the DREAM Act call themselves dreamers. When I first embarked on this mission 10 years ago, they used to kind of hold back in the shadows after a meeting and kind of whisper to me as I went by that they would be saved if the DREAM Act is passed. Well, they're stepping forward now, and I'm glad they are, so America can see who they are and what they would bring to this nation. Every day, these dreamers contact my office to tell me their stories. These stories energize me to keep up the fight. The last time we had a vote on this in the Senate floor was last December, and we had a majority, but it takes 60 here, and when it comes to controversial issues, I want to revisit that issue and give these young people a chance. Let me tell you the story of two of these DREAM Act eligible people. Herta Lusho was brought to the United States from Albania when she was 11. She and her mother settled in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. Herta came here legally, but shortly after arriving, Herta's mother filed an application to stay in the United States. Herta quickly learned English and became an academic star. She graduated from Grosse Pointe South High School with a 4.05 grade point average. In high school, she was a member of the varsity track team, won an Advanced Placement Scholar Award, and was a member of the National Honor Society. Here she is at graduation. Herta is currently a junior at the University of Detroit-Mercy, where she is an honors student, studying to be an electrical engineer. She has a grade point average of 3.98 and has completed 2 internships at engineering firms. She's also very involved in the community, volunteering at homeless shelters, tutoring programs in her church. This is what one of her friends says about Herta. I'm humbled by Herta's willingness and desire to serve. I've had the privilege of going to the same church at which she faithfully serves. She spends hours tutoring kids and volunteering with junior high Sunday school class. It's a joy to watch so many children run up to her church because of the love they receive when they are with her. In 2009, after 9 years of legal proceedings, the government placed Herta and her mother in deportation proceedings. Here's what Herta said about being placed in deportation. I was shocked, she said. My friends are here. My education is here. My community's here. All of a sudden, I was asked to leave behind everything I know, and go back to a country I barely know. When I lived there, I was little, so I don't remember it much, and I barely speak the Albanian language anymore. Herta's community rose to her defense. Thousands of people signed an online petition to stop her deportation. Last year, the Department of Homeland Security granted Herta a 1-year stay, just 1 year. The department is now considering whether to delay it for another year. I sincerely hope they will. Would it be a good use of taxpayers' dollars to deport Herta? Of course not. There is so much discussion in America today about what we need from our young people for America to succeed in the future, in the so-called STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math. Every year, we issue thousands of H-1B visas to bring foreign workers to the United States in the STEM fields. Now, Herta is a straight-A student in electrical engineering, a STEM field. She doesn't need an H-1B visa. She is a homegrown American talent. Why in the world would we create a law to allow someone who has never lived in the United States to come here and legally reside, to become an electrical engineer, and tell Herta, who's lived here all of the life that she remembers, that she has to leave? That is just plain wrong. Herta came to Capitol Hill to speak at a briefing I sponsored for the DREAM Act. This is what she said: "I'm a typical story. There are thousands of stories out there just like mine. Please support the DREAM Act so students like me don't have to leave. We are worth it. This is a country we've come to love." Herta's right. She and thousands of others are worth it. They have so much to contribute to America if we just give them a chance. Now let me introduce you to one other student. This is Julietta Garibay. Julietta was brought to the United States in 1992 at the age of 11. She graduated from the University of Texas with a bachelor's degree in nursing. She was on the dean's list and the president's honor roll and volunteered more than 500 hours at hospitals in Dallas and Austin. Julietta went on to earn a master's degree at the University of Texas in public health nursing. She's a member of Sigma Theta Tau, the International Honor Society of Nursing. Julietta has been a registered nurse since 2004. Here's the problem. Julietta is undocumented. She cannot legally work in the United States of America. Let me tell you something else about Julietta. She's married to Staff Sergeant Armin Weinrich, who serves in the U.S. Air Force Reserves. Here's a picture of Julietta and Staff Sergeant Weinrich at Julietta's graduation. Staff Sergeant Weinrich is currently awaiting deployment. He will go overseas to defend our country, but while he's gone serving America, his wife could be deported. That's just plain wrong. Julietta sent me a letter. Here's what she said about her dreams for the future. "I desperately need the DREAM Act to pass so I can practice my beloved profession of nursing. I've been dreaming of being a nurse for the past 7 years since I earned my nursing license. Once the DREAM Act passes, I'll join the military in hopes of making up the lost time and serve the country I call home as a nurse." Do we need more nurses in America? Of course we do. In fact, the United States imports thousands of foreign-trained nurses each year to meet the needs of our country. What's wrong with this picture? This young lady has a master's degree in nursing from the University of Texas. And I'm sure my colleague on the floor would acknowledge one of the most highly regarded universities in America. She has this master's degree, and they're planning to deport her. If they do, she'll probably cross paths in the airport with a nurse coming here on a work visa from some foreign country to work in our hospital. That isn't fair, it isn't smart, it just doesn't make sense. The DREAM Act would give Julietta a chance to serve the America she loves, the America she calls home. I first introduced the DREAM Act in 2001. Since then, I've met so many immigrant students who would qualify, like Herta Lucio and Julietta Garibay. They are Americans in their hearts. They are willing to serve our country. They are willing to make it a better place. We have to give them a chance. I ask my colleagues, please, in your heart of hearts, think about the fairness and justice behind this legislation. Let's support and pass the DREAM Act. It's the right thing to do, and it'll make America a stronger nation.